DreAllDay.com.
What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. This week's motivation is called 4951, and it's a very simple concept that can be explained in one sentence, and here it is. When you're helping someone else, you should never be putting in more effort than they are. When you're helping someone else, you should never be putting in more effort than that person is for them to be helped. You only help people as far as they are willing to be helped. It's kind of like the other day I watched the movie Hitch with Will Smith and what's the other guy's name? I forget the other guy's name. Will Smith, he's like a relationship coach. He teaches guys how to be better in getting women. So I think Kevin James, that's his name. So he's working with Kevin James, and he said to him, listen, when you want a kiss from a woman and you're standing there, you're face to face, and you think she's expecting a kiss, this is what you do. You come 90% and you let her come 10%. And then if you come 90. If she doesn't come that other 10, then there's no kiss. But once you come 90, if she's interested, she'll come to 10 and you'll get the kiss. That's the exact same thing that works when it comes to business relationship, when it comes to mentor-mentee relationships, and when it comes to someone helping another person. If I'm asking for help, let's say I go to you and I ask you for help, listen, you better believe I'm going to put in at least 90% of the effort into making that work at all times. And at the worst, I'm going to put in 51%. There should never be a point if you're working with somebody else. Let's say you were the one helping somebody else. If you're putting out 50% of the effort, you're putting out too much. You should never put out more than 49%. And when it's at 49%, that's the danger zone. That's when you need to have a conversation and say, listen, you need to put a little bit more effort into this because I can't want it equally as bad as you do. That don't make no sense. If you want the help, you should be the person who's putting in most of the effort. I get basketball trainers come to me. They say, Dre, I'm working with this player and that player, and it doesn't seem that they want it for themselves as bad as I want it for them. And I say, listen, you might need to get rid of that player. You might need to sit down with their parent and say, listen, your son or your daughter just doesn't seem to want this as much as I want it, or maybe as much as you want it, parent. So maybe this isn't going to work out because I'm not sure basketball is the thing for them. I'm not sure baseball or soccer or powerlifting or gymnastics is the thing for your child or is the thing for you as the player who's being trained. You should never want anything for anybody else more than they want it for themselves. That's basically what the 4951 principle means. And if you're ever working with anybody and it seems like you're doing more of the work than that person is doing, then you got two options. Number one, you need to just stop working with them, period, and just wait for them to come. Wait for them to come that 90 so you can come that 10. They'll get the message if they're smart enough. Or B, you can have a conversation with them. If you're a nicer person, you're a little bit more compassionate, you can have a conversation and just say, listen, I can't be putting in more effort than you are. I can't want this for you more than you want it for yourself. So until you raise your level of effort and activity and commitment, I got to fall back. And that person who you're talking to, that person who you're working with or who you stopped working with, they're going to do one of two things. Either A, they're going to step their game up, they're going to get the point, and they're going to start bringing that 90 so you can bring the 10. Or B, they're going to go away because they're just not the right person. They don't really want it as bad as they thought they did. A lot of people want things as long as somebody's holding their hand and helping them do it. But a lot of times what you'll find when you're holding somebody's hand and helping them do something, let's say it's a 50-50 type relationship where you're doing half the work and they're doing maybe half the work. As soon as you let up a little bit of your energy, let's say you drop down to 30 and they got to bring 70, you'll see how much they really want it. That's how you find out how much somebody really wants it. Because when you're helping another person, they might seem like, yeah, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But as soon as you're not around to help them, you'll see how much they really want it. Because if you're not around, if they really want it, they're going to do it anyway. If they really want it, they were probably doing it before they met you. If they really want it, they're still going to be doing it after you're gone. But if they don't really want it, as soon as you're not around, what do? Stop and do nothing. If you never come around, what are they going to do? They would never get started. And if you are around and then you leave, what will they do? Their whole activity stops, everything stale. It's just like it'll look exactly a year from now as it looks today because you're not around doing all the work. So it's a 49-51 ratio for all of you out there who are in a position to help somebody else. Never come more than 49%. Ideally, you want to come about 10 and let them come 90 if they're serious. And all you out there who may ever be in a position of asking for help or wanting somebody to mentor you or lend you a hand or give you the push that you need to get to where you want to go, you better be willing to put in at least 90% of the work to make that happen. And if you are not serious, and any serious help, any serious mentor, any serious person who can really help you out is going to see that. They're not going to work with you until you start bringing it 90%. So you better be willing, able, and ready to do it. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com. This video, I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at DreAllDay, Instagram Dre Baldwin, Facebook /Work on Your Game. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course. And the website is workonyourgame. That's .me. Workonyourga.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, dreallday.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved.